What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 12th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $92.3 thousand with 10 hours and 17 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Okay, here we are, and we're building up some pressure. We're getting these higher lows, building up pressure at this point right here, right at about like 93.5K, 94K. Getting higher lows while consistently finding resistance here. You know, a double top exists, a triple top exists, but there's no such thing as a quadruple top. I mean, the more that we interact with this area, the more likely we are going to break out. And my overall theory of how this move is going to work out, since the low here, when we were confidently still saying that we were in a bull market, not in a bear market, right? Back whenever it wasn't cool, back when everybody was scared to say that. Most people were screaming at the top of their lungs that we were in a bear market. Back here, we were very bullish, and we were calling for a move to go all the way back up to here. All the way back up into this area. And the two paths that we have laid out, and there's more than just two paths, but recently what we've kind of gone over is that we are in a channel. We're in this ascending triangle structure, sure, but it's somewhat of a channel as well. We could meander our way up there in this channel to this area for resistance. We might come over here and find resistance right there. Or, and this is the more likely outcome in my opinion, especially with the pressure that we've built up here, I would think that we break out of this ascending trend line. We're probably going to see a nice, instead of a consistent move like this where we're going up and down all the way up there, instead of doing that, I think that we're going to get a breakout of this trend right here. We're going to get that higher high, that break of this trend line. People are going to max FOMO at the top, and then we likely correct from there. And get this, the expectation that I have actually is if we're basing it off of this kind of channel, is that technically we'll break to the upside above this trend line and then find resistance. And then likely from there we will correct. We will come back below this trend line to find support, and then we'll move up. Making everybody max FOMO the top and max panic sell the bottom because we've broken out. But really, we're just going to have a higher low. Really, we're just going to have a lower high. You're going to have people, it's perfect. You're going to have people, mark my words, who are max bullish at a notable lower high. And you're going to have people max bearish at a notable higher low. It's going to be hilarious. And it might even be at the golden ratio, perfect area to bounce. But we're going to see. It might not be hilarious if you're a part of that, but hopefully we can avoid that. Or option two, we do just consistently move up in this kind of channel, and it'll be the end of the month before we're up there. Maybe it'll be like sometime during Christmas week that we're up in this area, and that's fine if we are. Option three would be that I'm wrong about both of those, and we just sell off from here, but that's not what I'm expecting. So we're not. I mean, we can go over that if we do go lower. If we were to break out of this and assume this is some type of a bear flag, we could go lower. But again, as we continue to develop here, this flag is getting pretty big in comparison to the flag pole, right? Like, it's pretty big. I was told that once the flag is greater than 50% of the length of the flag pole, that invalidates it. But I don't know. I don't know how accurate that is or not, because here the flag is way longer than the flagpole. Here, that flagpole is way longer than the flag. It's just a matter of how you look at it. But still, I do believe that if we continue to move up like this, it's very likely that we are not in a bear flag at all. Let alone if we break out to the upside. But I digress. Let's get into the short-term stuff. We'll look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there, okay? Looking at the 1 hour here, it is 6:46 in the morning where I'm at, so we've got probably about an hour, 45 minutes left until the stock market opens. Stock market opened up here yesterday. We moved up. Stock market opened up here the day before. We moved up. Stock market opened up right here, I believe. It was on this candle, so we moved up the hour before. Typically, we do get some moves right around the stock market open, whether it's up or down. I mean, here we had a downward move right before the stock market opened up. So here we're consolidating. The thought in my head, and probably in most people's head here, would be that we move up, which is what makes me a little bit skeptical. Maybe we move down, because in this very emotional environment, this very choppy environment, any consistent move down or consistent move up, any kind of vibrant move like this, they typically give back the other direction. You know what I mean? So we've just moved up. The likelihood is that we probably move down, and then we move up later after that, right? Let's see. Looking at the indicators here. The 1 hour RSI is very volatile. Not really trending to either direction. you are in a bullish posturing now, but let's just see, the last, here you didn't get oversold. You did have a move down, right? You could have a very comparable move here. Here you hit the overbought zone, you got oversold, hit the oversold zone, got overbought. Every time that we hit these ranges, these extreme levels within this range, we do revert back to the other side. Normally, I would be bullish here, but I'm cautiously bearish, I would even say. And not necessarily bearish, but something, of a pullback might be expected, something that goes below this low. I wouldn't be surprised if right when we got below this low of 91.5K, if that was the low and then we move up, right? Just like here, you got right below that low and then you moved up. Unfortunately, that was a farce. Same thing here, you got right below that low and then you moved up though, right? It's just kind of how it's been. That was a slightly lower low and then you moved up, right? Got a slightly higher high and then you moved down. Slightly lower low, then you moved up. So we're probably going to get a slightly lower low and then we'll move up. I'm expecting that we probably do move down. Just looking at the RSI. Stochastics are bullish technically, but there are some bearish implications there. The MACD is also bullish, but every time that we've been up here in recent history, again, these crosses typically are not false crosses. They're typically real. So normally in this environment, looking at it like this, I would be bullish here. Normally I would be bullish here, but because of how manipulated everything is, I'm kind of going against the grain, right? That's the logic to use here. But maybe I'm not the only one doing that. It's completely, understand, this is proper structure to break out and move higher. I just don't know if we're doing that yet because, again, where we are, if we break out, we move higher, we're breaking out right now. We're doing that, which is fine. We can do that on a Friday. But then what? Are we continuing on Saturday, Sundays? Weekends are typically not days where we expand. They're typically days where we just kind of consolidate and wait. Typically. 4-hour time frame, looking at this here, trying to make sense of it all. The 4-hour RSI is bullish. We do have higher lows, going on all the way back here. Higher lows. It's not the best respect as far as this low is concerned, but there is some type of path to follow here. Higher lows is good. Finding support at the 40 is good. Sometimes you do range between the 40 and the 60. You find support at the 40. You might find resistance at the 60. That's exactly what we're doing now. So until we pick a side, one way or the other, hopefully it's to the upside. We could be at a moment now where we do break above the 60, but I would think if we were going to do that, we would have done it already. So again, coming back down, even to the 50, to the 40, whatever it might be, it just makes a lot of sense from here. And still maintaining that higher low path would be desirable. The stochastics, it would be odd to turn around here, but you have done it before. The MACD, to be completely fair, makes me think that you want to move higher. The MACD here, bouncing off the 0 after crossing above it, and then now you're building bullish momentum. That's what the solid green histogram means. That does make me bullish. The MACD on the 4-hour, the RSI and the stochastics too are bullish, but again, you're kind of at an area where you reject on the RSI. You are in an area where you've rejected before on the stochastics, but it's not the most common thing to do. The MACD to me looks the most bullish, but again, the MACD is probably the least helpful in this type of environment where you're moving sideways and you're chopping left and right. You're just chop, 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 moving sideways. It's a little bit less reliable. In other words, when you look your best, each time has been the relative highs. When you look your worst, you just got these fresh crosses each time, you've actually been at your lows. So it's like right whenever you get these bullish signals, it's actually benefited you to sell, or right when you get the bearish signals, it's benefited you to buy. We're getting a bullish signal here. I would be bullish, but maybe in that context, we should be bearish. I don't know. Regardless if we move down from here or not, we're still building pressure up at this point. And I would expect that pressure gives way soon enough, like very, very soon, within the next 5 days. It could be today, but within the next 5 days, sometime next week is what I'm thinking, we should be making our way up to this 99 to 102K area. We look at the daily time frame. The RSI has a little bit of a double top look to it. Normally, with double tops in the RSI or double bottoms, you don't do this. You don't meander like this. Double tops are like this, and then you go down pretty immediately. this gives me hope that we might continue to move up. We do have somewhat of an uptrend here, higher lows, higher highs. We did break out of this downtrend over here. Overall, the RSI is coming out of a bearish positioning, but you do have some bullish posturing right now. It's pretty neutral, but there is some bullish posturing about it. Stochastics are bullish, and the MACD is bearish overall, but you are building some bullish momentum, and I would think that we do continue to push higher until we get to this 0 point. Then we likely find resistance, consolidate, and then we can come up and cross for the real move up, probably sometime in January would be my guess. And a little bit more of a move up in the MACD would probably get us right up to this area here, right to the 0, right where we would reject, and then we come down, we consolidate, and then we try for the real move sometime later. That's the thought. I don't really have anything else that I think I want to say. We are decreasing in volume as we are consolidating. Whenever you're in a consolidation range and volume dies off, that means that you're getting close to a breakout. So we're going to break out one way or the other pretty soon. I'm calling for the breakout to be to the upside. And if it's not a breakout, maybe we just continue on the path like this. That's fine too. But one way or another, I do expect that we're going to move up higher. When would I admit defeat? I mean, from here, if we were to close a day below 85K, that might be a bit intimidating. If we close any day below 85K, we might at that point start thinking about lower prices. And do be open-minded. We haven't talked about it in a few days now, probably in about a week. But it's completely acceptable, possible, and not cycle ending to go below this low. If we go below this low, that does not mean that the bear market's on. It does not mean the bull market's over. In fact, it's actually very common whenever the daily RSI sees these low readings to see lower lows in the time after that. Typically, you move sideways for about a month to 2 months. Right? We've been moving sideways now for almost a month, practically sideways, right? I would expect any movement down to get given back, any movement up to get given back, because again, we're just going to be moving sideways more or less. And I don't imagine that by the end of the year 2026, or by the end of the year of 2025, once we're going into 2026, I don't imagine that we're going to be too far away from where we are now. The expectation is probably within the next week we move up here. I think a lot of people are going to expect that Christmas week is bullish. There's going to be all this bullish hype, all this bullish momentum, just like Q4. Okay, here we are. Q4, the threshold for Q4 was right here, October. Everybody knows Q4 is bullish. Everybody knows, right? People buy the narrative, right? And then we're moving up. It's just the beginning of Q4. Wow, the power of Q4. It really is magical. I'm going to take out a loan. I'm going to sell my car and quit my job so I can just go full-time in crypto right at the top and dump. That's exactly the same kind of thought that I'm thinking I'm having here is that it's going to be Christmas. It's the week before Christmas. Right here. We move up next week. By the end of the week, it's the 21st. Next week, everyone's going to say, everyone's going to be talking about the Santa Claus rally, the Christmas rally, how it always happens. It doesn't always happen. I don't want to go over that now, but maybe I can do that next week. We can analyze the Santa Claus rallies. I think the last 3 Christmases in a row have actually promoted downside during Christmas week, if I'm not mistaken. Afterwards we do rally after Christmas, but I think a lot of people are going to be misled, and they're going to assume that Christmas week is bullish, and we're going to be not just that information isn't just going to be floating out there, but the charts are going to validate that as well. We're going to be moving up, so people are going to be hearing the bullish narrative while we're at bullish prices. We're just below 100K. We're about to break 100K again, you guys. The bull market's saved. Here we go, and then we dump. And the bull market is saved. We're fine. I still believe we're in a bull market. I still believe we have higher to go. But we can form higher lows. And the reality is, again, we don't typically, I mean, we haven't even been here for a month. What, we're just going to break out from this low and then go up? That doesn't happen. Typically, you consolidate. You move sideways for a month or 2 when you get these low readings in the RSI like this. I don't know. I'm just painting a picture in my head of what sounds right. I could be wrong. We could just crash from here, but the implications in the charts don't suggest that. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Again, overall, we're anticipating that we move up to this price. That's the expectation. at the current moment, if I had to guess which way the price moves during the opening of the stock market here over the coming hours, because we probably do break out of this range by the time most of you watch this video. We probably do make a move one way or the other, and it'll probably revolve around the opening of the stock market. Maybe it's on that hour exactly. Maybe it's the hour before, which I guess it's a little bit already too late for it to be the hour before. We've got 30 minutes till the stock market opens. Maybe it's the hour after, but sometime soon in the coming hours, we should be making a move one way or the other. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we do move to the upside, but I'm anticipating that we move down, and we probably move as low as about 90K, but I doubt we break below 90K. I would think we do break below 90. We might not break below 91K. We might not break below 91K. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did. But I would be surprised if we broke below 90K. Then we might have a different discussion. Anyways, I've got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, okay? I hope I'm wrong. I hope that we open up the stock day and we're moving up. That's great. But just do be... What's the word I'm looking for? Cautious. Don't get too depressed on dumps. Don't get too excited on pumps, guys. Because I really do think that we're at this moment right now where we are about to break out, but I don't think that it's going to happen this week, right? It's Friday. We have Saturday, Sunday upon us. It would make more sense, in my opinion, to make this move up to here probably sometime next week. And then again, with the whole narrative of the Santa Claus rally, the Christmas rally, and everybody's going to be saying it next week, guys. It's going to be that's all you're going to see. That's literally, you're probably seeing a good bit of it on X.com right now, but whatever the trend is now, the trend next week, it's only going to be about Santa Rally. It's only going to be about Christmas week and how great it is for crypto. And you're going to have the price action to back that up. You're going to have the media influencing your opinions. You're going to have the price influencing your opinions. Stay level-headed. Don't be emotional. Understand where we are. That right there is actually a perfect area for resistance. That right there, if we look at this from a high to a low, is also right at our 0.5 level, which Bitcoin loves finding resistance at its 0.5 level. You guys, this whole cycle since 2022, it's been finding support and resistance at its significant 0.5 levels. I mean, here, let's just see from a high to a low here. You found resistance right there, pinpoint at your 0.5. You continue to go up, and you did go to your golden ratio, in all fairness, afterwards. But you found significant resistance there. I mean, that's a hell of a trade from 114K down to 107K, below 107K. That's a hell of a trade right there, off that 0.5. And that's just one example. There's so many examples. I could go over this whole bull cycle. Bitcoin consistently has found significance at its 0.5 this whole cycle. Don't get too excited when we're at the perfect place to find resistance, okay? This whole cycle, Bitcoin and various cryptos have gone to its 0.5, down to its 236, and then up to its golden ratio or even through it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the exact outcome we see, because this would do exactly what I'm calling for, which is to break out of this trend line and then to break back below this trend line. We break out, we hit the 0.5, we break back, we hit the 236, and then we go up to the golden ratio. Everybody's losing their minds because we're bullish, we're breaking out, we're bearish, we're breaking down, and really we're just doing the same exact maneuver we've done this whole cycle, which is going to the 0.5, to the 236, and then up. And once we're above this high, if we form this high here, once we're above that high, at that point it becomes pretty inarguable that the bull market is still alive. But the ultimate test is getting above this high here, getting above 116K. And that will probably happen not this month of December, maybe in January, if not perhaps early February. It's going to take some time. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. And don't worry, I will keep this rhetoric in mind with almost every video I make, probably, as far as Bitcoin's concerned. Every Bitcoin video I make, I will consistently remind you guys that we are not going to get euphoric next week, okay? I expect people are going to be lathered up with euphoria, or not even euphoria, but just excitement. It wouldn't be full-blown euphoria, but excitement, and we're going to stay level-headed. We're not going to get emotional, okay? Hit that like button. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.